Ladies and gentlemen, we often dream of a bigger life, a life filled with success, happiness, and freedom. But dreams don't come true by accident. They come true by design. And the most powerful tool you have in your hands to design your life is time. Time is your currency, your investment, your raw material. How you spend it determines the life you create. Discipline your time, and you will design the life you've always imagined. I stand here today to remind you of one truth: your time is your life. Every moment you waste is a piece of your life you give away. Every moment you invest wisely is a brick in the foundation of your future. Discipline is not restriction. It is liberation. It frees you from chaos and puts you in control. So, let us dive into the 10 powerful ways you can discipline your time and design your life. The first step to disciplining your time is knowing your priorities. Time becomes meaningful only when it is attached to purpose. Without clarity of what matters most, you end up busy but not productive, running around but not moving forward. Life is not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things. And to know what the right things are, you need to sit down with yourself and decide what truly matters to you. Your career, your health, your relationships, your growth. Without this clarity, time slips through your fingers like sand. Many people confuse activity with progress. They keep themselves occupied with countless tasks, yet at the end of the day they feel unfulfilled. That's because they never took the time to identify their true priorities. Discipline begins when you recognize that not everything deserves your attention. Some things are urgent but not important, while others are important but not urgent. The wise know the difference. When you prioritize correctly, your time transforms into power, and your daily actions start aligning with the bigger picture of your life. Think about it this way: your priorities are like the compass of your life. Without a compass, you can walk for hours and still be lost. But with a clear direction, every step you take gets you closer to your destination. Time discipline is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. And once you identify those priorities, you'll notice that your energy, your focus, and your time all start flowing toward building the life you want. Your priorities will not always look the same as someone else's. That's the beauty of designing your own life. For one person, health might be the top priority. For another, building a career or nurturing family may come first. The key is to stop living by other people's lists and start creating your own. When you know your values and goals, you no longer let the world dictate how you spend your hours. Instead, you claim your power back, because your time is now a reflection of your chosen path. But knowing your priorities requires honesty. You have to ask yourself the tough questions. What do I want my life to look like 5 years from now? What habits will take me there? What distractions are keeping me away from it? This self-awareness is where discipline is born. Once you answer those questions, you will realize that your time cannot be wasted on things that don't align with your vision. Clarity is the fuel of discipline, and priorities are the roadmap that keeps you from drifting. And here's the truth. When your priorities are clear, decisions become easy. You stop overthinking whether to attend that unnecessary meeting, spend hours on social media, or get dragged into commitments that drain you. With discipline, your answer is guided by a simple filter. Does this serve my priorities, or does it steal from them? That single shift changes everything, because you are no longer reactive to life. You are proactive, intentional, and in control. The way you start your day defines how the rest of it unfolds. A morning without intention is like a ship leaving the harbor without a destination. It will drift wherever the waves push it. But when you take charge of your mornings with discipline and purpose, you set the tone for productivity, clarity, and confidence. The first hour of your day is your foundation. And just like a strong building cannot stand on weak ground, a successful life cannot stand on weak mornings. Starting your day with intention doesn't necessarily mean following someone else's perfect routine. It means creating your own rituals that serve your goals and fuel your energy. Some people find power in meditation or prayer, others in exercise, journaling, or reading. The activity doesn't matter as much as the purpose behind it, aligning your mind and body before the chaos of the world begins. When you dedicate even a small portion of your morning to intentional action, you anchor yourself in strength and focus. Most people wake up and immediately surrender their attention to the world, scrolling through phones, drowning in notifications, or reacting to problems. That's not starting your day, that's giving it away. Time discipline requires you to claim your mornings as sacred. When you wake up with clarity about what you want to achieve, you become proactive instead of reactive. Your energy flows where your intention is directed. And that's how you begin designing the day instead of being controlled by it. Think of mornings as an investment, just as a small financial investment compounds into wealth over time. A consistent morning routine compounds into success. One disciplined morning may feel small, but weeks and months of intentional mornings can transform your productivity, mindset, and results. That's the power of starting strong. It creates momentum that carries you throughout the day and builds the future you've envisioned. And let's not forget the emotional impact of intentional mornings. When you begin your day on your terms, you cultivate confidence and calm. Instead of rushing through chaos, you operate from a space of control. This affects how you show up at work, in relationships, and even in how you make decisions. A disciplined morning is not just about time management. It's about emotional stability and mental strength. It's about choosing peace and clarity over stress and confusion. So when you rise each morning, ask yourself, am I designing this day, or am I letting the day design me? That one question can shift your perspective entirely. The truth is, your mornings are not just the start of a day. They are the start of your destiny. Each sunrise is an invitation to take ownership of your time. And each intentional choice is a brick in the foundation of the life you are building. Big dreams can be overwhelming. They look so massive, so distant, that many people give up before they even begin. The truth is, no one climbs a mountain in a single leap. You climb it step by step, one foothold at a time. That's why discipline demands that you break your big goals into small, daily actions. When you take your dreams and divide them into manageable steps, they stop being intimidating and start becoming achievable. Discipline thrives on structure. A dream without a plan is just a wish, but when you break that dream down into specific, daily tasks, it transforms into a roadmap. For example, if your goal is to write a book, the idea of 300 pages may overwhelm you. But writing 2 pages every single day feels possible, and in time, those daily actions will accumulate into the very book you dreamed of. The key is to shrink your goals into bite-sized pieces that you can consistently execute. Small actions create momentum, and momentum is powerful. When you see yourself completing daily tasks, even tiny ones, your confidence grows. You no longer feel stuck because you can see tangible progress. That sense of movement is motivating. It keeps you disciplined, focused, and excited to keep going. It's not about giant leaps forward. It's about consistent, steady steps that keep you climbing higher. This approach also eliminates procrastination. Many people delay starting because the goal feels too big or too complicated. But when you break it down, there's no excuse not to act. Instead of waiting for the perfect time to make a grand effort, you discipline yourself to take small actions today. Those actions, though small, compound into massive results over time. That is the hidden power of breaking goals into daily disciplines. And let's not forget, daily actions create habits. Habits shape your character, and your character shapes your destiny. By committing to small, disciplined actions every day, you are not just achieving your goals. You are transforming yourself into the kind of person who achieves them. You begin to embody consistency, resilience, and focus. That transformation is even more valuable than the goal itself, because it equips you for every future challenge. So, when you set a big goal for yourself, don't get trapped by its size. Instead, ask, what can I do today that moves me one step closer? The answer may be simple. One phone call, one workout, one page, one decision. But those small, consistent choices are what build the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Discipline is not about giant sacrifices. It is about daily commitments that, over time, create extraordinary results. One of the greatest lessons in disciplining your time is learning the power of the word no. Too often, we spread ourselves thin trying to please everyone, attend every event, or take on commitments that do not serve our purpose. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something vital. Your dreams, your health, your focus. Time discipline means guarding your hours fiercely, and that requires the courage to say no without carrying the weight of guilt. Many people associate saying no with being selfish, but in truth, it is an act of self-respect. Your time is finite. If you do not protect it, others will consume it with their priorities, not yours. Saying no is not rejecting people. It's choosing your future over temporary approval. When you discipline yourself to decline distractions and commitments that don't align with your goals, you free your time for what truly matters. That is not selfishness, that is wisdom. Think about how often guilt traps us. We agree to tasks we don't enjoy, conversations we don't need, or favors that drain us, all because we're afraid of disappointing others. But here's the truth. Every time you betray your priorities to please someone else, you are disappointing yourself. Discipline is about shifting that balance, about realizing that your dreams, your growth, and your peace deserve as much respect as anyone else's demands. The ability to say no is also a sign of clarity. When you know your vision and values, your decisions become simple. You don't waste hours overthinking whether to accept an invitation, project, or distraction. Instead, you measure it against your priorities. Does this serve my goals? Does this align with the life I'm designing? If the answer is no, then the decision should be no. That filter saves time, energy, and mental peace. And the beauty is, once you practice it, saying no gets easier. At first, you may fear judgment, criticism, or rejection. But over time, you realize that people respect boundaries. The ones who truly value you will understand your choices, and those who don't were never meant to define your path. Time discipline teaches you to stand firm, because you cannot create an extraordinary life while being pulled in 1,000 directions by other people's expectations. Remember, every no you say to distractions is actually a yes to your dreams. It is a yes to your health. Yes to your peace. Yes to your growth. The moment you stop feeling guilty for protecting your time, you begin to unlock your potential. Saying no is not shutting doors. It is choosing which doors are worth walking through. And that choice, made with discipline, is what separates a life of chaos from a life of purpose. Focus is one of the most powerful forms of discipline. In a world full of noise, distractions, and endless demands for your attention, the ability to concentrate on one thing deeply is a superpower. When you scatter your energy across too many tasks, nothing gets done well. But when you direct all your energy toward one goal, one project, or one task at a time, you magnify your productivity and quality. Focus is not about working harder, it is about working smarter. Distraction is the greatest thief of time. Every time you switch between tasks, check your phone, or let your mind wander, you lose momentum. Studies show that it takes minutes to regain concentration after an interruption. That wasted time adds up. Discipline means protecting your attention like it's treasure. It means creating boundaries around your focus so that you can give your best to what matters most. Without focus, even the most talented person will struggle. With focus, even ordinary actions become extraordinary. The art of focus requires training your mind. Just like muscles grow stronger with exercise, your concentration grows stronger with practice. This might mean setting aside specific hours for deep work, eliminating unnecessary noise, or practicing mindfulness to bring yourself back to the present moment. The disciplined mind learns to resist the temptation of multitasking and instead devotes its energy to finishing what it starts. That's how time becomes productive instead of wasted. And focus is not just about work. It's about presence. When you focus, you don't just complete tasks, you live fully in the moment. Imagine having a conversation where you are truly listening, without checking your phone. Imagine working on a project without your mind wandering to what's next. That kind of presence is rare, but it is also powerful. It builds deeper relationships, better results, and a stronger sense of fulfillment. Clarity also fuels focus. When you know your priorities, distractions automatically lose power. You no longer feel the need to chase everything that comes your way because you are anchored by your vision. Focus becomes easier when you remind yourself, this is where I'm going, and this is what matters now. Discipline is not just about saying no to people. It's about saying no to distractions that dilute your potential. The truth is, focus multiplies time. What might take hours with a scattered mind can take minutes with disciplined attention. This is why some people achieve more in a day than others do in a week. It's not luck, it's focus. The more you master the art of concentrating on one thing at a time, the more you unlock your potential to create extraordinary results in less time. Focus is the bridge that takes your time and turns it into achievement. Discipline is often misunderstood as constant hustle, endless hours, and pushing yourself without pause. But true discipline is about balance. And that balance means valuing rest as much as you value work. Rest is not a waste of time. It is an investment in your energy, your creativity, and your longevity. Without rest, even the most disciplined effort eventually collapses. A well-rested mind and body can achieve in hours what a tired one struggles to do in days. Think of rest as the recharge button for your life. Just as your phone needs charging to function, your body and mind need moments of renewal to perform at their best. When you push yourself without stopping, you're not proving strength, you're draining your capacity. True strength lies in recognizing when to pause, recover, and come back stronger. Rest gives you the clarity and freshness needed to make better decisions and maintain higher performance. Many people wear exhaustion like a badge of honor, as if being busy all the time equals being successful. But business is not the same as productivity. Working endlessly without rest leads to burnout, mistakes, and stress that steal more time than they save. Discipline means knowing when to step back, breathe, and allow your body to heal and your mind to reset. Rest is not weakness, it is wisdom. It ensures that your efforts are sustainable over the long journey of life. Rest also fuels creativity. Some of the best ideas come not when you're forcing yourself to think harder, but when you step away, relax, or sleep. Great breakthroughs often happen during moments of stillness, because the mind has space to wander and connect ideas. By valuing rest, you are not just protecting your health, you are also creating an environment where inspiration can flow. Work may build results, but rest often sparks the brilliance behind them. In the same way, physical rest strengthens your resilience. Sleep is when the body repairs itself, when energy is restored, and when strength is rebuilt. Skipping rest is like trying to run a marathon without ever stopping for water. Eventually, you will collapse. If you want to design a life of consistency and growth, you must discipline yourself not only to work hard, but also to rest deeply. That balance is what gives you the stamina to keep moving forward day after day. And let's not forget emotional rest. Beyond physical breaks, you need moments of peace from constant stress, pressure, and noise. Whether it's time with loved ones, a walk in nature, meditation, or simply silence, these pauses restore your inner balance. When you give yourself permission to rest without guilt, you honor your humanity. You remind yourself that you are not a machine. You are a living being who deserves rhythm, not just routine. So, my friends, remember this time is not just passing, it is shaping you. Every hour, every choice, every action is either bringing you closer to the life you want or pushing you further away. Discipline is not about restriction, it is about direction. It is about telling your time where to go instead of wondering where it went. The life you dream of will not be handed to you. It will be designed carefully, intentionally, and consistently through the way you manage your hours, your focus, your energy, and your priorities. Success, happiness, fulfillment, they are all hidden in how you choose to spend your days. So don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect plan. The power to design your life is already in your hands. In the minutes and hours you hold today, discipline your time, and you will discover that you are not just managing a schedule, you are building a destiny.